The most important thing I learned from knees over toes guy is triple flexion. Oh! During my 4 years of college basketball, I was taught triple extension, but never triple flexion.
Triple extension means ankle, knee, hip.
But I didn't get my first dunk until I started training ankle flexion, knee flexion, and hip flexion, which you can train body weight using minimalistic equipment or full equipment. ATG opened up potential I didn't know I had as a basketball player by training all 6 zones, triple extension and flexion.
But ATG is for everyone. Triple flexion isn't just for athletes. I'm even more happy that triple flexion has helped my mom be able to sprint at 69 years old. So Ian's actually going to coach his fiance through a live set of triple flexion so you can see this in real time.
Yep. And Lou ran track in high school, played basketball, and had shin splints. And so sometimes she gets them still now, and every time she gets them, it means, hey, I need to do more tib raises, so she does them with me. Most people don't have access to this, so you can get started, toes up. This is, the ideal equipment, I guess you could say, to walk into a gym, sit right down after sled, and get stronger from the ground up. But you can do this body weight too against the wall, which she does probably more often, like this. First 2 years of ATG, I used nothing but a tib bar, really, and she's used that too. So, now that we're a couple of years into this experiment, we have a lot of different options to train the tib and get stronger from the ground up.
So we use these in different ways in programs. Like in Knee Ability Zero, we work extension, but we work the tibialis raise into that. And he was just telling me this morning, oh, I took her through this workout, so I figured I'd have him repeat and show what she did.
So we went over there next.
Yeah, in here we have that seated tib. We collaborated with Sornex to make that. That's the Mac Daddy. You sit down, it's so easy to use. But for myself, I've done 10,000 plus of the wall tibialis raises, probably a few thousand reps now with the tibialis bar.
Yep.
And this, I think, is a really minimalistic option. Like if you already have a rack to be able to attach to it. So this is a Sornex brand. It's beautiful. We get to train knee flexion one side at a time. Go ahead, Ian.
So 15 reps here. She did this morning, so she's doing it again. But yeah, I've only trained on this once. My initiation to short range hamstring curl stuff was monkey foot, even just body weight. So for Lou, she's not training Nordics, the long range knee flexion as much as I am, but this is great, especially just for beginners, a lot less dangerous. This is the monkey foot that I was
This is what a monkey foot is. So it allows you to attach weight to your foot, makes it easier to train hip flexion or knee flexion as a progression from zero stuff to then minimalistic equipment.
But I think the potential of this piece of equipment is huge. Like a hamstring curl machine is, thousands of dollars, and this is $50 or whatever. And so just finding different options, different paths to get stronger in these triple flexion methods is awesome to see.
Yeah, I've been on teams as well, and it's not often because of lack of awareness of knee flexion. Most people are aware of knee flexion. Ankle flexion wasn't really popular till ATG. Hip flexion also. But knee flexion was more known, but on a team setting. Like how do you get, all right, we have over there a hamstring curl machine. It costs a few $1,000s. You have to change the setting. Something like our Nordic bench. So here, everyone can walk up to this on a basketball team. I would have these. I tell families, I tell young athletes, don't get a video game set till you have one of these. Mm-hmm. Like every ounce stronger you are here, you're reducing your chance of knee surgery. Like you're resisting the ability of life to pry your knee apart. So this is super minimalistic. I've coached tons of teams. This was the game changer for teams because I could get everyone into it and get to elite standards. But that is a pretty intense exercise. Yeah. So if you're at home by yourself, the monkey foot is cool. But in a gym setting, look at this. Same setting here. All I have to do is throw some more weight on for myself, but it fits everyone. Like it works no matter your height. Right. It works for every single person. So I think from CrossFit gyms, which we have a lot of classes now going into CrossFit gyms, these can be a game changer. Attach it to the rack. Now you can have classes doing this. And then what'd you do for hip flexion?
Well, before we get to hip flexion, one more thing I wanted to say, the difference between, so I did a Nordic. I've done a Nordic before I found ATG where someone would hold my heels, right, and I'd go down as a team, but those were viewed as like prevention exercises, right? They weren't like we weren't measuring those exercises like we were measuring our squat, our clean, our whatever. And so the mentality switch for me was like, okay, I'm not just gonna do this stuff. I'm measuring it with the same intent that I'm measuring my squat, my bench, my whatever, right? So that was a big switch. For hip flexion, we can go over to reverse squat.
Yep.
Yeah. So when I started this exercise, I probably couldn't even do like 25% of my body weight. A good goal to shoot for is like 50%. This is one of those exercises that once you start training it, you'll get a lot better at it, fast too. This is one that I had never seen before ATG. And after I saw it, I was kind of like, well, you know, reverse squat makes a lot of sense. Like if you're gonna get strong in a squat, you should get strong in your reverse squat.
It was the biggest difference I noticed between people who worked out and really elite natural athletes was this strength below the belly button, the hip flexion strength. So, okay, two people even squat, but then one of them runs way faster. The biggest thing we notice, well, they can pick up those legs easier. They're measurably stronger on hip flexion, not just hip extension. So this is believed to be the #1 difference between an elite sprinter and a regular person is the size of the hip flexor. Because you don't walk around like, bro, nice hip flexors, those are popping. You don't like walk around like flexor, like, might have to delete that. We'll see what it looked like. But
that's a great point though. Like,
yeah, and you see the six pack.
Yeah.
So okay, you see, boom, six pack. Everyone's obsessed with that. But then the strength below the belly button is a modern weak point, not just for athletes. Yeah. For my mom, for my wife after having kids, this is actually like her #1 favorite exercise because having kids, she was still able, even with the belly, like 2 pregnancies pretty close to us, she was still able to do squats, seated good mornings, things like that. But she lost a lot of strength in the opposite of that. That's what lost the most strength after having kids. So ATG is definitely not just for athletes, just as important for anybody. So now to finish out this video, I'm gonna challenge Ian here.
Here we go.
To go over half body weight, 20 reps. Ian's not a normal cat. He joined us working online, ATG. So he's been one of your ATG online coaches while working himself into being a starting Division I basketball player. That's unheard of. Someone doing all that and still working a full-time job is insane. So he's put in this work, and the crazy thing about it is that he's actually far from his potential. And that's a really cool thing when you realize that you have more potential. You find weak links. So you have 6 zones, and even within each of these 6 zones, extensive mastery. How many you got?
16.
17. Get those, cover the calves. 19, 20. Thanks for watching. See ya.